Have you ever wondered why so many people eat healthy foods, and yet heart disease and stroke are still the #1 killers in America? We've been told for decades that avoiding red meat, cutting fat, and eating more low-fat foods would protect us. But what if the real danger isn't fat at all? What if the secret lies in the kind of foods we choose? Whether they are natural, whole and nourishing, or processed, stripped, and artificial. Today I want to share with you something truly powerful. Not a new pill, not the latest diet trend, but 10 real foods that science has shown can protect your heart, sharpen your memory, and lower your risk of stroke, especially after age 60. And I'm not just going to list them for you. I'll explain why they work, what the research really says, and how you can bring them into your meals every single day. Let me start with a story. One of my patients, a 68-year-old gentleman, came to me worried about his rising blood pressure and cholesterol. He was ready to give up all meat, thinking it was the only way to protect his heart. But instead of telling him to restrict, I asked him to simply change the quality of his food. Olive oil instead of vegetable oil, wild salmon instead of fried chicken, a handful of nuts instead of sugary snacks. Within 3 months, his numbers improved, he felt more energy, and most importantly, he enjoyed eating again. That's the truth we often forget. Food is not the enemy, real food is the medicine. So let's begin this journey together and discover the 10 powerful foods that can help you live not just longer, but healthier and happier. Olive oil, the heart's best friend. When it comes to heart health, we cannot forget extra virgin olive oil. In many large studies, especially the PREDIME trial in Spain, people who followed a Mediterranean diet using olive oil daily reduced their risk of heart disease by about 30% compared to those on a low-fat diet. So what makes olive oil so special? First, it's rich in monounsaturated fats, IHMUFA, which lower bad LDL cholesterol and raise good HDL cholesterol. Second, olive oil is packed with polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that protect blood vessels from damage and inflammation. Think of your blood vessels like water pipes in your home. Over the years, they can rust and collect buildup. Polyphenols in olive oil act like a protective coating, preventing buildup and keeping the flow smooth. I remember one patient, a woman in her 70s, who used margarine for cooking. When I advised her to switch to extra virgin olive oil, within a few months her cholesterol levels improved significantly, and she told me her salads tasted much better. It was a small change, but it made a big difference. Here's the rule of thumb. Avoid industrial refined oils like soybean or corn oil. Choose extra virgin olive oil, use it for salads, or drizzle it after cooking. Just 1 to 2 tablespoons a day can be a simple shield for your heart. So let me ask you, in your kitchen right now, which oil do you use more often, olive oil or industrial vegetable oil? Next, we'll move on to a food many people overlook, but it's actually nature's most powerful multivitamin, grass-fed beef liver. Grass-fed beef liver, nature's multivitamin. When most people hear the word liver, they wrinkle their nose. It's not the most popular food in America. But what if I told you that grass-fed beef liver is one of the most nutrient-dense foods on earth? Just a small serving, about 3 ounces, contains more vitamin A than a whole bag of carrots, more vitamin B12 than any supplement, and a unique form of iron called heme iron, which your body absorbs far more easily than plant-based iron. It also provides copper, folate, choline, and CoQ10, nutrients that support your heart, brain, and mitochondria, the tiny powerhouses in every cell that give you energy. Think of it this way. Most seniors are told to buy bottles of pills, multivitamins, iron, B-complex. But nature already made a multivitamin, and it's right there in beef liver. Of course, balance matters. Too much liver, too often, can give you excess vitamin A. That's why I recommend once a week, prepared simply, pan-seared with onions, or mixed into a stew. I had one patient in his 60s who struggled with fatigue and borderline anemia. Instead of giving him a long list of supplements, I suggested adding liver once a week. Within 2 months, his energy improved, his lab numbers came up, and he told me, "Doctor, I feel 10 years younger." The lesson is simple. Sometimes the foods we ignore are the ones that can give us the most strength. So let me ask you, have you ever tried beef liver before? And if not, Would you be willing to give it a chance once a week? Next, we'll move from organ meats to something very different, a group of foods that heal from the inside out. Fermented vegetables. Fermented vegetables. Healing from the gut. When we think about health, we often picture the heart, the brain, or the lungs. But one of the most powerful keys to wellness is right in your belly, your gut. And one of the best ways to protect it is with fermented vegetables. Foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, and pickled cucumbers, when they're naturally fermented, not just soaked in vinegar, are packed with probiotics, the good bacteria that help balance your digestive system. Why does that matter? Because your gut is like a garden. If the soil is healthy, the whole garden thrives. If the soil is weak, weeds take over. Probiotics keep your soil strong, reducing inflammation, improving immunity, and even supporting your mood. Science backs this up. One study showed that adding fermented foods lowered levels of C-reactive protein, a marker of inflammation, in just 8 weeks. I had a patient who always suffered from bloating and indigestion. She thought it was just part of getting older. But when she began adding a small serving of sauerkraut to her lunch every day, her digestion improved. Her energy went up, and she even said her seasonal allergies weren't as bad. Here's a quick tip. Store-bought pickles made with vinegar and sugar. Naturally fermented vegetables with live cultures. Just a few forkfuls each day can be like medicine for your gut. So let me ask you, do you already eat fermented vegetables? And if not, which one would you be most willing to try first? Next, we'll move to another small but mighty food. A kitchen staple that works like nature's blood pressure pill, garlic. Garlic, nature's blood pressure pill. Garlic has been used for centuries, not just to flavor food, but as a natural medicine. What makes it so powerful is a compound called allicin. When you crush or chop fresh garlic, allicin is released, and it helps your body make more nitric oxide, a gas that relaxes blood vessels, improves circulation, and lowers blood pressure. Think of it like this. Your arteries are like garden hoses. When they're tight, the pressure goes up. When they relax, the pressure goes down. Garlic helps them relax. Science agrees. Studies have shown that taking garlic daily can lower systolic blood pressure by 7 to 8 points. That's similar to what some prescription drugs can do. I once had a patient in her late 60s who struggled with high blood pressure for years. She didn't want to keep increasing her medications. So we added one simple habit, 1 to 2 fresh cloves of garlic a day, sometimes raw in salad, sometimes lightly cooked in her soup. After 3 months, her numbers improved. Her doctor reduced her medication, and she told me, "I feel lighter and my headaches are gone." Here's a simple checklist. Garlic supplements with no smell or taste, often weak. Fresh garlic, chopped or crushed, added to meals daily. It's a tiny change, but it can make a big difference for your heart. So let me ask you, how do you usually enjoy garlic in your meals? Do you eat it raw or do you cook it? Next, we'll move to another group of tiny foods that carry massive health benefits, nuts and seeds. So those are the first 5 foods, simple, natural, and powerful choices that can protect your heart, sharpen your memory, and give you more energy as you age. But we're only halfway there. There are 5 more real foods, including one that supports your brain and another that can help you live longer and stronger. Don't miss part 2 of this series. We'll have more real foods that keep seniors strong and sharp. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe for more senior health tips, and share this video with a friend or family member who needs it.